Hi guys, this is Avi Wildman Hall, and today I'm doing a book review. I just read "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins. That's what I have here in the background. This book is amazing. I would definitely add it to your must-read list. David Goggins, I knew about him for years. He's inspired me for years, and I decided to just pick up his book because I want to learn more about him, just get a little bit deeper. And yeah, this book it really inspires you to not feel sorry for yourself, to just kind of just say fuck it, I'm gonna succeed no matter what. Um, so some of the stuff I didn't know about David Goggins, I knew he had a troubled childhood and all that, but he actually goes into the details, and I mean it's just heartbreaking when you hear the stuff that him and his mom and his brother had to endure from their father. The guy just sounded like a real psychopath. I mean, physically abusive, mentally, emotionally abusive. He used to have David Goggins, strip down naked, lie down on the bed, and then just come in with his belt and just beat him for minutes. Just beat him up and down his body. That's when he was a little kid. Um, and but you can see the character traits even then. Goggins when he was a little kid. Or that there's times he still defied his father, even though he knew he was going to get beaten brutally. And eventually, his mother got up the courage to just leave. And you know, and then life was still tough. That was one of the things that was crazy was that when he was growing up with this highly violent and abusive father, who basically ran like a nightclub. He ran a roller rink, but he was like actually a pimp on the side. He was doing prostitution and stuff too. Um, they had money, but they were living through hell. Then they left the father, and then they're away from the abusive situation. But they're trying to pick up pennies, rub them together. Just that they're just trying to survive. They're so poor, and then where he moved back to was a place called Brazil, Indiana. Um, or he's the only black guy there growing up, and the racism was real and it was pretty intense. And people calling him the N-word, right, spray painting his car with the N-word. Um, just like really heartbreaking stuff to hear. Um, and I mean, he basically had trouble reading, had trouble uh with a lot of stuff because early on when he was in school, he didn't get enough sleep at night. His father would make him work and he'd show up to school and just sleep. He just couldn't even pay attention. And then when he finally got out of that situation, he had one really good teacher who was a nun, and she helped him a lot. But then he got a shitty teacher after that, and basically his coping mechanism was he got really good at cheating. Um, but when he was about to go into 12th grade, that he basically got a letter from school saying that they were going to expel him unless he turned his life around. And he did. He did, like he just decided to buckle down, stop being a thug, just make something of himself. And end up getting into the Air Force by the skin of his teeth. And that was kind of like, I don't know, he started this journey to become the person he wanted to be, not the loser that he was. But even then, he was in the Air Force. He got out of the Air Force. He was severely overweight. That's this picture in the background right here, right? And that's the man he became. And he's working as an exterminator. By his own admission, he was a loser. He was a nobody, and just through a series of a chain of events, he just kind of took an honest look in the mirror and just said, like, I'm fucking dumb. I'm a loser. I'm nobody. I'm nothing. And this needs to change. And that's one of the things he talks about throughout the book is this accountability mirror sessions, the accountability mirror where he just look in the mirror and talk to himself and just give him a fucking brutal, honest pep talk. And I love that. I love that idea. And the stuff he went on to do was absolutely superhuman. I mean, it's the stuff that you'd imagine John Rambo doing. It's the stuff you'd imagine seeing in a movie. Like, he ran several ultra marathons. We're talking like 100-mile races. He did it more than once where he had went into kidney failure or he was running on broken legs. Like not once, not twice, like this, the kidney failure, all this stuff. He literally pushed himself to the point of death and just still keep on going through the force of his will. He went through Hell Week 3 times. He almost didn't become a Navy SEAL, and just by the skin of his teeth became a Navy SEAL. He went through Ranger School, what was like the honor, sergeant or honor cadet. I forget what's called, the honor man of his Ranger course. Um, just Listen, I could talk all day about his achievements, but it was just the mentality that nothing's good enough. That you always gotta improve yourself, you always got to be better, and just the mentality of not feeling sorry for yourself, not making excuses. Like this guy literally had every excuse. He literally had everything stacked against him. He had the bad background, the abusive background, poverty, racism, you name it. He had everything stacked against him in life. And through his own force of will, his own mindset, and determination, he became this just incredible human being, like someone I look up to and really am inspired by. I would love to be someone who's able to accomplish the things that he's accomplished. I would love to one day, do Ironman triathlons. I would love to be more successful in my career, just more successful in the sports I do, like in martial arts and jujitsu, wrestling. And, I really subscribe to what subscribe to his ethos, right? Like, it's not about finding the hack. It's not about finding the easy way. It's just, I, I always like to say, and it's the truth, is that life is simple. Life is not easy, but it's simple. And I think David Goggins embodies this. He's basically saying, like, cut the crap. You can get what you want, but it's going to require a lot of suffering, a lot of sacrifice, and your path to success is that long path. And I just I think he's speaking the truth, and not that, but just he's someone who's really gone inside his mind, really sought out to master his own mind, and he sought to master it through pain. And so I can tell you, as a result of reading this book, I've started waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning and started, I wake up, I exercise, I study for an hour, and then get ready for work. And it hurts. It's not fun. And but I've started doing this. I was doing it before when I was running. Right now I have an injury, so I can't run, a leg injury that I'm recovering from successfully, but just it takes some time. But um this morning I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and did 100 pull-ups on the pull-up bars in my apartment complex where I'm living right now here in Uzbekistan. Um, if you guys don't know where Uzbekistan is, look on the map. It's in Central Asia, but really interesting place. I talked about it in a previous video. So yeah, David Goggins. Yeah, I just yo, the bottom line is excuses are always just excuses. For every reason to succeed, you're going to have 50 good excuses why you shouldn't or couldn't or wouldn't. And one of the biggest takeaways also, really, he talks about the 40-60% rule. And he says that most people, when they think they've given their 100%, they're often just at 40%. And then it's the other 60% is just going past that pain threshold. And the example he gives is, if you're running a 100-mile race, you might feel like you hit your wall at 40 miles, but then you push through another 60, as he had done. And as like a real simple example, I can think of myself when I ran the marathon. I think it was almost 5 or 6 years ago now. I hadn't prepared properly. I didn't really know that much about running training. I didn't know what I know now, and I probably shouldn't have finished the marathon, but I hit that 18-mile wall that they talk about, and that's usually when people's like I think they say like the blood sugar, their glycogen levels kind of just drop and people tank. Um, and I had like another 8 miles to go. Yeah, the marathon's like 26 miles, and I literally ran that through sheer willpower. It was just mind over matter. I had nothing left in my body. To give me an idea, like my entire body hurt by the end of the marathon. Like I'm talking like even the fronts of my shoulders were in pain because they got tired of swinging my arms. Um, it was top 5 worst physical pains I've ever experienced in my life running the marathon, because I hadn't prepared properly and I just ran it and forced my way through it. And I can say, I think I truly believe that that's one of the times in my life where I've pushed that 100%. I passed that 40% into that other 60. Um, and I can think of a few other times, like when I was at West Point. I remember there's 1 or 2 times. There's one time in particular, I was getting punished for something, and they decided to just smoke me until I was done. And I remember they smoked me so badly that at the end of it, they finally stopped smoking me because they told me just put my arms up in front of me, and I couldn't even lift my arms up. I couldn't even do this. Like and like that's the only time I've ever exercised that hard I can remember, at least with the upper body, where I physically couldn't go any further. Um, and so that's another time when I've gone past that 40% into the 60%, gone to the 100%. And so yeah, I just anyway, the point is I realized that if I were to honestly look in the mirror right now and evaluate my life, I've done a lot of really great stuff. I've done some really cool stuff, and I've really accomplished a lot. But I really believe I maybe have reached 35% of my true potential. And I decided I've got to step up my intensity. I got to step up my game. Just step up, like just maximizing every minute of every day into productivity. And because I want to see if I can hit, 60%, 80% of my potential. Fuck it. I want to hit 100% of my potential. Why the fuck not? Why can't I? There's no reason. The only reason I can't, it would be because of me. And so I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm hitting 100% of my potential. I don't care how much it hurts. You heard it right here on YouTube, right? So yeah, just incredible book, not a long read, just really interesting, really enjoyable. It's just some of the stuff you're reading it, you're like, I can't believe this. I can't believe like, just it's the stuff of legend. It's the stuff of legend. And so yeah, guys, pick up the book, uh, see what you glean from the stuff. But anyway, this is this week's video. I'm Zavi Wildman Hall. Until the next time, take care, guys.